This is it, the final chapter of an era, the 2025 Porsche 718 Cayman GTS 4.0, a car that isn't just a machine, but a farewell letter to driving purists. Today, we're diving deep into what makes this car special, why it's now impossible to order new from Porsche, and why this might just be the last great analog sports car we'll ever see. Let's start with what defines the GTS 4.0, the engine. Sitting just inches behind the driver is a naturally aspirated 4.0-liter flat six. No turbos, no hybrid assist, just 6 cylinders inhaling freely and screaming their lungs out all the way to 7,800 RPM. It produces 394 horsepower at 7,000 RPM and about 317 pound-feet of torque. Numbers that, on paper, might not shock anyone in the age of 700 horsepower supercars, but this engine isn't about raw statistics. It's about the way it delivers them. The response is immediate. The sound is mechanical and raw, a howl that builds intensity as the revs climb. It's the kind of power delivery that makes your hair stand on end because it feels alive. With the 6-speed manual, 0 to 60 happens in about 4.3 seconds. Opt for the PDK dual clutch, and that drops closer to 3.8. Top speed? A very respectable 179 miles per hour. But again, this isn't just about the numbers. This is about connection, something Porsche has mastered better than anyone. In a world moving rapidly towards silent, instant torque EVs, the GTS 4.0 feels like a celebration of everything we love about internal combustion. It's not just transportation, it's theater. The Cayman has always been known for one thing: balance. Unlike the rear-engined 911, the Cayman places its engine in the middle, right behind the driver, but ahead of the rear axle. That layout creates almost perfect weight distribution, and it transforms the way this car dances through corners. The steering is direct, sharp, and full of feedback. You can feel every nuance of the road surface through your fingertips. The car doesn't just turn, it pivots gracefully around you, giving the impression that you and the chassis are one. Thanks to Porsche Active Suspension Management, PASM for short, the GTS 4.0 adapts instantly to conditions. In normal mode, the ride is surprisingly comfortable, soaking up bumps better than most expect from a sports car. Switch to Sport or Sport Plus, and the suspension tightens, body roll disappears, and the Cayman becomes a precision tool. Reviewers have consistently praised its composure in less than ideal conditions. Even in the rain, it feels planted, predictable, and confidence-inspiring. Where many cars would get nervous, the Cayman stays calm, inviting you to push harder, not back off. This isn't just a sports car, it's a driver's car, tuned to make every bend in the road an event. The GTS 4.0 may not have the brute power of a 911 Turbo, but in terms of driving feel, it's arguably the sweeter, more rewarding car.
Now, you might not expect a mid-engine sports car to be practical, but the Cayman GTS 4.0 has some surprises up its sleeve. For starters, it weighs about 3,241 pounds, making it relatively light by modern standards. That helps not just with handling, but also efficiency and daily usability. Dimensionally, it's compact, 173 inches long, 70.9 inches wide, and just over 50 inches tall. That makes it far easier to live with than a wide, exotic supercar. And here's where the Cayman beats expectations: cargo capacity. Thanks to having both a front trunk and a rear luggage compartment, you get a combined 15 cubic feet of space. That's more than enough for a weekend trip, and more than some sedans offer. Inside, the cabin is pure Porsche. Minimalist, functional, but with enough luxury to remind you this is still a premium sports car. Supportive sports seats, a driver-focused cockpit, and excellent visibility all mean you can actually daily drive this car, if you're willing to use something so special for commuting, of course. Here's where the story gets bittersweet, because while the Cayman GTS 4.0 is a masterpiece, it's also the last of its kind. Porsche has confirmed that the 718 lineup, the Cayman and Boxster, will be discontinued by October 2025. The future belongs to electric replacements, with the upcoming electric 718 already testing on the Nürburgring. That means no more naturally aspirated flat sixes in a mid-engine Porsche. No more cars that combine this balance, this soundtrack, and this level of purity. Once current dealer allocations are gone, that's it. You won't be able to order a new one again. Some see this as progress. EVs are faster, cleaner, and future-proof. But for many enthusiasts, it feels like losing a piece of the brand's soul. Because Porsche has always been about the visceral connection between man and machine. The feel of the steering, the sound of the flat six, the way the car moves beneath you. The GTS 4.0 is therefore more than just a sports car. It's a collector's item in the making, a time capsule that captures the very best of Porsche's mid-engine philosophy before regulations and electrification change the game forever. If you're wondering why used prices for these cars are climbing, this is the reason. Enthusiasts and collectors know that the last naturally aspirated Caymans will be remembered, cherished, and most importantly, valued. 5 years from now, this could be the Cayman that everyone wishes they bought. So why does the Cayman GTS 4.0 matter so much? It's not the fastest, it's not the most powerful, and it's not the rarest. But what it does better than almost any car today is remind us why we fell in love with driving in the first place. Every input is rewarded. The manual gearbox has a short mechanical throw. The clutch feels perfectly weighted. The throttle response is instant. Even the brake pedal, firm and confidence-inspiring, adds to the sense that this car was built by people who care about the driving experience above all else. It's a car that forces you to engage. You can't just sit back and let it drive you. You become a part of it, and it becomes a part of you. That's something you can't measure on a dyno sheet or a spec sheet. That's something you feel in your chest, in your fingertips, and in your grin every time you downshift and floor it through a tunnel. In short, the GTS 4.0 matters because it's proof that cars are more than just machines. They're emotional companions, built to make us feel alive. The 2025 Porsche 718 Cayman GTS 4.0 is the end of an era, but what a way to say goodbye. It's the perfect blend of power, balance, and purity, a final love letter to driving enthusiasts before Porsche turns the page to an electric future. If you're one of the lucky few who managed to get your hands on one, hold on to it, because this car isn't just transportation, it's history. It's the kind of Porsche people will talk about 10, 20, even 30 years from now as the last of the great naturally aspirated mid-engine sports cars. So what do you think? Is Porsche making the right move going all electric, or should they keep cars like this alive? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe,